All right, it's been a little bit, and we haven't done a good old-fashioned questions for atheists video in a while, and I got one of those right here. This one is from Hetty the Otter. Said a little something I made a long time ago. I just got the courage to post. Sorry, my teacher broke the hammer. Also, I have been more on YouTube lately. Well, thank you very much. It appears that we have a... Looks like it's made of clay. It looks like either it's made from soap or it is made from clay, but this looks very much like clay. And yeah, I used to actually do clay stuff. That was fun. I'm gonna go do clay again. I need a kiln. I don't have a kiln. We'll figure that out later. Next one we have here is from Aether. Said, okay, done. It sucks. The color is whack, but here it be. I fully endorse the NFT. No, we don't. We do not endorse the NFT. Nope. The next one we have here is from Aurelius. Said, I tried a Batgirl Suris. I just finished inking. The next thing will be colors. Aw. He's adorable. Those ears could echolocate so many things. Axolotls with cream. Thank you very much for your... Oh, well. All right. With that said... As always, everyone, thank you very much for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With all that said, let's go ahead and get into things after you hit the subscribe button, because if you haven't done that already, well, I don't know what to tell you. That's a thing you should do. Like, truly and honestly, do that. Also, head over to the Patreon, where you get back... What am I saying? Back? No. Yeah, behind the scenes. There we go. My brain is fried. Behind the scenes content. That's all on Patreon. Woo! Alrighty. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it. It's 4 questions for atheists, and these are all from a Muslim perspective instead. So let's go ahead and get on with it. Also, Nami the Neko, really? Joker, let me know. Now was a good time. Joker, why do you do this? Why do you hate me? Why you do that? Nami the Neko has dropped 50,001 channel points because my community is made of cringe and bad decisions, and y'all all need therapy. Ooh. There you go. And go heck off somewhere. Yeah, you live in a society. Go society. I'm gonna play the video.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, today our video is about 4 questions to atheists.
Okay.
So let's begin in the name of Allah, most gracious and most merciful. First off, what is your main purpose in life?
What's my main purpose in life? It's whatever the fuck I make of it. I mean, that's kind of the beauty for me about not feeling like my life is guided by a deity. It's that my purpose can be whatever I want it to be, whatever I make it. That may seem small and insignificant, but for me, that's a huge thing. If halfway through my life I have an existential crisis and I change what I want to do, then my purpose will change, and that's okay. I get to be flexible with what I want to do. I only get to have this life one time, so I'd like the ability to do whatever the hell I want with it, so long as I'm not harming anybody. That's my purpose.
An atheist, what is your main purpose in life? What do you wake up in the morning and think of?
Food. I wake up and think of food, usually because I'm hungry.
What is the first thought in your mind when you wake up? What do you think?
Okay, do you just wake up and go to work, go home, eat, sleep, and repeat? No. I have plenty of other hobbies that I actually engage in. So I'm actually working right now because streaming and doing YouTube is my full-time job. I do that. But aside from being home and eating and sleeping, I also go to my local card shop and play Magic the Gathering. I also gather a group of my friends together, and we play the new Varia card game, which is like a Dungeons and Dragons except with cards. I like playing video games with my friends and sometimes for stream. I like making video content on YouTube. I like playing with my animals. I like grabbing my bunny, Thumper, and giving him a nuzzle and reminding myself that I'm not actually angry with him for destroying half of the wires in this house. I have a lot of things that I like to do in my day, and they are not all just going home, eating, sleeping, and repeat. Those are all things that I find meaningful about my day. Hell, sitting down and brainstorming ways to build different Magic the Gathering decks, those are things that I truly enjoy. I've been messing around with a Gliss of the Trader deck recently that I can't wait to actually take to my LGS and start playing because it seems really fun. I like artifacts and I like playing decks that are green, and it's the only commander that lets me do green artifact shit. So I'm excited about that. Luke of the Crow says, when I first woke up, I saw that there's a streaming and thought, God is good to me today. Hello, Luke, and thank you for the 100 bits. But like, to somebody else, those things may seem insignificant and not super great, but to me, those things are everything. Just like there are individual things that other people have, even religious people have, that I think are insignificant. To me, somebody who is religious, who is enveloping a good chunk of their life in prayer and in service to a deity who I don't believe exists, to me, that feels insignificant. That feels like a waste of time. But to the person who is theistic, to the person who believes in those deities, it's not a waste of time for them. I can understand and accept that. All I ever ask is that that person, in this case, you, would do the same for me. I would hope that understanding that things that fill my life with joy and purpose do not have to be the same for you. Blue Naxila, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an owl. Owl.
Okay, I have to go to work, I have to go to school, I eat, go home, sleep, and repeat. That's it.
That's not it, though.
Get money, get married, have family, and that's it.
Okay. Again, that's not it. That's not it. I just labeled a whole bunch of things that are not it. Now, see, it's weird to me as somebody who has a lot of hobbies that I engage in. It's very strange to me whenever somebody says that, oh, so you just eat, sleep, and work. Like, no, I do a lot more than that. I do a lot more things that make me happy. But okay.
Is that really your main purpose in life?
No, again, my purpose is whatever I want it to be. So if I were to talk about my main purpose in life, over and above, making sure that I can survive, my main purpose in life is to try to leave this world a better place than when I entered. And that manifests in a bunch of different ways. One of them is doing this channel. I would hope that what I do on this channel helps some people's lives. Yambao, thank you for the follow. But I would hope that, some things that I do on this channel enriches somebody's lives. Maybe there's some artist who hasn't had motivation to do their work, and they decide they want to do fan art of my character because they see all the fan art that is submitted every day, and they want to submit theirs too, and that gives them a smile. That gives them something amazing, and then that creates a feedback loop of other artists getting inspired to pick up something like that they might have even abandoned. Knowing, because I've gotten a whole bunch of emails about that, I've gotten things that have been written on Discord about that, knowing that that's just that alone, ignoring all of the social justice bullshit, ignoring all of the stuff that I talk about on my channel, if the legacy that I have is literally just inspiring a bunch of artists to do more art, I'm fine with that. Like, that, I can live and die with that legacy and that legacy alone. That's all I need. But there's more to it than that. There's people in my audience who are gay or trans, or people who are polyamorous, who haven't felt like they can talk about those aspects of their identity. And sometimes they tell me that I've given them language that helps them do that, especially those of my audience who are polyamorous. Like, I know at the end of the day that there's a little bit of impact that comes from what I do. Hopefully the people who take that positive impact, whether they be artists or people who are part of, you know, certain minority groups, I would hope that people who take the things that I do and then move forward with them in a different direction would also enrich the lives of other people, pay it forward. Like if I'm sitting down at a Magic the Gathering table and somebody is struggling to learn the game and they've got a deck straight out of a pre-con and they are trying to figure stuff out, I will take that person's deck with their permission. I will open up my box of spare cards and I will just start upgrading their deck and hand it back to them and go, here, try it now. Literally just did that with somebody's Omnath deck, much to the chagrin of people who don't like playing against Omnath, at my local card shop just this last Saturday. And I would hope that that person takes that experience, and the next time that they see that somebody's new and they've been playing for a year or two and they've got a better grasp on the game, that they would take that experience and pay it forward and help that person as well. If every single person would take the kindness that they get and pay it forward, we would have an incredibly well-functioning society of people who are just ready and willing to do good shit. I'd like to be a part of whatever paperclip game that ends up being. Ultimately, that's my purpose. Ultimately, that's it. Spooky, thank you for redeeming your points for an Ada. You fucking degen. Like, this channel is a way that I can fight against things that I heavily dislike or find to be incredibly harmful, but I want the end result of that not to be the blood sport aspect of it, but the positivity of it. Maybe that's a reason my channel doesn't grow too terribly fast, is that I try to do that, but I don't know. I don't know. Nyan, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an owl. But, you know, again, that's my ultimate goal for me. That is my purpose in life. Just be part of a giant paperclip game of people trying to pay it forward and do better than the last person. If that happens, I'll die happy. I don't care past that point. My goal is to try to make the world a better place before I die.
If you do not believe in Allah, if you do not believe in God, then what is your main purpose in this life?
Okay.
I am very confused because I see atheists everywhere. They are saying, oh, let's just have fun. We just live once. We just. They don't believe in life after death. So.
Okay. So, here's the thing. I don't believe in life after death because I don't have a way to actually verify it. I don't. And maybe that's one of the benefits of faith that I just will never have anymore since I left theism. But to me, life after death, I would like it to be true, but it's, as far as I can tell, there's not really a reason to believe that it is.
This will take us into our next question.
Wait, hold on. So you said, maybe this is just because you're newer on your channel, but if you have a visual representation of something, say something that has to do with it. Like, do you just believe in man-made science that has flaws? This is a logical error that I see happen a lot when it comes to, like, the religion versus atheism conversation. So, atheists don't believe in science. That's kind of a faux pas. Because when you're talking about believing in something to the same degree that somebody believes in something with religious fervor, that's not really how we look at science. Science has demonstrated that it, as a practice, yields practical results. The type of believing in where science is concerned is very categorically different than the type of believing in that you typically see with variants of theism. I think that's where the confusion might be. What you're doing is you're saying, well, if you don't believe in a god, what do you believe in? But that's the thing. The type of belief that leads you to a deity for most atheists, that's just not a type of belief that they have. You might only be able to see the world through the lens of somebody who uses that particular type of belief, but that's not really how most atheists operate. A lot of us don't just replace God belief with something else. A lot of us just nix the God belief and we don't put anything in its category because we don't have to. Some people might, but not very many people that I've actually met and interacted with. This feels just like a category error.
This will take us into our next question, which is going to be, what happens to you when you die?
Fuck if I know.
Seriously, like, you just die, sleep. Because I
Okay.
have seen atheists online, because there are zero atheists in my country.
There are 0 atheists that you know of in your country. I guarantee you your country has atheists. They are just hiding.
And they said, when you die, you just sleep forever. Sleep. Finish. Khalas. You just sleep forever.
So do you just sleep for eternity, no consequences, being good or bad doesn't matter, just enjoy life. So here's the thing. Consequences. This is a weird bit of framing that I've noticed a lot when it comes to the theist versus atheist thing. The idea that consequences aren't real if they aren't eternal. I have a question. If you steal a cookie from a cookie jar and then your parent strikes you for stealing the cookie. Now, we can have an entirely separate conversation about how that is a form of child abuse. Don't hit your children, blah, 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 blah. We can have that conversation. I'm not trying to have that one here. I'm just using this as a hypothetical example. Would you not say that that was a consequence for an action that you should not have taken? You shouldn't have stolen that thing that was not yours to take, and you were punished for it. If we can agree that that happened, then we can agree that consequences exist in life. There is no consequences thing because consequences happen. Any country that has a legal system, any people that have a moral system will have some form of consequences for actions. You don't have to have the threat of hellfire for it, and even then, there are various polytheistic faiths that don't believe in this same type of punishment for misdeeds at the end of life type of thing. That's not really... That's not strictly an atheistic thing. There are theistic religions that don't have the same idea of punishments afterwards. I feel like the need for punishments in a religion can be more of a flaw than an actual benefit. But that's just me. Like, out of curiosity, what is the point of a punishment? Let's talk about Gehenna for a moment. To my understanding, Gehenna, the Muslim version of hell, is not that different from hell. I mean, it's got nuclear fruit in the form of Zakum, but I mean, aside from the nuclear fruit, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same deal. So, what is the point? Because for me, eternal punishment has no point. Punishment is for purpose of rehabilitation. That is my view of punishment. You punish someone to teach them that an action was bad so that they do not repeat the action in the future. You want them to learn from the punishment. So if you have eternal hellfire of some variety, no lessons are learned. All you're proving is that your deity was vindictive enough to use a form of punishment that didn't suit the crime. What type of punishment suits stealing a cookie from a cookie jar? Well, in our hypothetical example, we had a quick strike, which, again, I think is abuse, but not the conversation we're having right now. We have a punishment that, at the very least, happens once and then it's gone. And hopefully that teaches you not to do it again within that hypothetical. What's the correct punishment for stealing a TV from a supermarket? Maybe a fine? Maybe a little time in jail as you know, time to rehabilitate? Who knows? The point is, the punishment has to fit the crime. And the reason it has to fit the crime is because the punishment is supposed to be one part deterrent, one part learning. It's not really going to work very well as a deterrent or a learning if it's eternal. said fines are laws for the poor. Well, yes, I understand that. But just like how I believe that striking a child is child abuse, period, I'm not going to talk about the minutia of using fines as punishments because, yeah, no, those are strictly bad for poor people. They don't really punish rich people. I get that. Not my point. My point is constructing punishments that fit the crimes necessary. Can you name me any crime that is an eternal crime? Because I can't think of one. There's some place where traffic tickets are based on income. Yeah. So Christianity in particular has a sort of the crime is life, the penalty is death motif. Yeah, I know, but at that point, God's the one committing the crime. Because he's the one that gave us life in that particular example. But I don't know. I've never liked this framing that you specifically need these eternal consequences for things. It feels dumb.
So by that logic, I can kill everyone. I can kidnap everyone. Then go to jail, kill myself, sleep forever.
So, wait a minute. You're telling me that you being dead was not punishment? Can you construct for me a world where dying is not a punishment? Where going to jail is not a punishment? Because it sounds like you committed multiple crimes. Okay, then you went to jail. Okay, so the punishment started. You killed yourself. Okay, cool. So the punishment was you don't get to live. That your own example has a consequence. 2 of them, in fact. One of them is jail for an amount of time, and the other one is death. Sure, you inflicted the punishment on yourself, but the punishment still happened. In reality, in that life. I mean, if you don't find death to be a punishment, then, I mean, the internet has plenty of colorful ways to tell you to handle that. I'm not saying you should, please don't. But I'm saying it's very weird for me when somebody has this view that I can kill myself, no consequences. There is a consequence. You're fucking dead. You don't get to have chocolate cheesecake ever again. That's a punishment, my guy. You don't get to have the delicious taste of fried zucchini anymore. It's gone. You can't have corn anymore. Sorry. That's a consequence.
Or I can just give a lot of money into charity, 700 million, 800 million, 1 billion, 100 million. Then I die, sleep forever.
Yeah? Like, you're gonna reap... So here's the thing. Reaping the rewards of a thing you did in life, for better or worse, is not a flaw of a system. That's just a thing that happens. You donated billions of dollars to cancer research, and then suddenly you cured all the different cancers in the world because you were able to hire all the best doctors magically. Okay, cool. You did it. You have a legacy now. People are going to remember you for ages. You yourself are celebrated as one of the greatest and best human beings in the entire world, and you already had millions and billions of dollars to begin with, so you're already living a pretty goddamn cushy life. Seems like you're getting rewarded for that anyway. Like, you helped people and made life better for others. The idea that you personally need to have a benefit for something that is effectively you paying forward on something, again, feels weird to me.
There is no bad or good in the mind of an atheist.
What? No, wait, what? What? Wait, what? No. You killing a bunch of people is bad. You donating a bunch of money into good charities is good, technically speaking, if we're not doing an actual socialist critique of how charities work. Let's not talk about some of the problems with some 501c3 organizations. Anyway, point is, there is good or bad. Like, you gave an example of good and you gave an example of bad. But by whose logic is there not a good or bad there? Certainly not mine, and I'm an atheist.
Everyone is the same. Everyone. LGBT, just be gay, just be trans, be transsexual, gender fluid, helicopter man.
What? I need you to say those words again. I need you to say those words again. Every single one of them.
One. LGBT, just be gay, just be trans, be transsexual, gender fluid, helicopter man.
Just what is the point? What is the point of all of that? Be gay, LGBT supporter, and die. That's it. Your life ends. Nothing more to it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes life just ends. Yeah, and again, it's just the one joke. I identify as an attack Apache helicopter. Do you? Then fly the fuck away. Try not to run out of fuel before you crash. Do not Google helicopter man with the safe search off. What are you talking about? Meatspin.com is a classic. Everyone in the perspective of an atheist is the same. Kill, die, sleep forever. Donate, be the best for yourself. Die, sleep forever, and so on. Yeah, you reap the reward. Like, what you're missing here is you can reap the rewards for these things, for better or worse, while you are alive. Be gay, LGBT supporter, and then die. That's it. Your life ends. Nothing more to it. Yeah. Turns out we can support causes about things that matter in life while alive, and then we die, and then it's done. There's no problem with that. So there's no problem behind the insult. It's like he's saying because he has to. Yeah, it feels like he's spent time on, like, transphobic forums, and so he feels the need. Now that he's talking about gay people, he has to talk about attack helicopters.
You die, sleep forever. Is that really what happens with you atheists?
Sure, why not? I don't know, nor do I care. I'll find out when I die. That's a journey for dead me.
Just die, sleep forever. Kill everyone. Sleep, die. خلاص. Finish. So I need an answer for this. A very logical answer that will make me convinced.
With true sources. Okay, cool. So here's the thing. It is not on me to prove a negative. So proving Gehenna doesn't exist, proving that your version of heaven does not exist, that's not on me. The burden of proof is always going to lie on the claimant. If you claim Gehenna is real and is a punishment for the actions of people in life, then you're going to have to prove to me Gehenna is real. That's how we do things scientifically. We don't try to prove a thing does not exist. We try to prove the existence of something in the positive. So if you can provide me evidence in the positive of your versions of the afterlife, then that's one thing. But if you can't do that, then scientifically, we cannot say that they exist. They don't even exist within the realm of hypothesis. So joke's on you, I use DuckDuckGo, which never remembers search history. Lol. That feels like a bug more than a feature. Just saying. Efficiency and optimization are good things. But if you're seeking a logical answer, logically you don't try to prove negatives. How can I prove to you that nothing happens after death? I can't. No one can. Likewise, however, you can't prove to me that something does happen after we die. And if your answer is, well, the Quran says so, guess what? The Bhagavad Gita has something to say about the afterlife as well. The Bible has something to say about the afterlife as well. Various Norse epics have things to say about the afterlife as well. And the funny thing is, for the majority of them, what they have to say about the afterlife is very, very different. All of those claims cannot be true at the same time, so the most honest answer is almost always going to be, I don't know. My honest answer is, I don't know. What I'm asking from you is an honest answer as well. Because the honest answer is, I don't know. Because you don't. That's how we look at things scientifically. We don't pull something out of a book and say it must be true. We say, hey, We don't know. Let's figure out how we would find out. So let's try it real quick. Let's try running a bit of an experiment. How would we verify what happens when we die? Well, we would die and then try to report the results back. But wait, we have a problem. We're dead now. Interrupted by Carp. Thank you for redeeming your points for an... Oh, well. We're dead now. Oh, but you had a near-death experience. And then you had a hallucination. And I'm not saying that to do the whole, like, religion mental illness thing, because that's a stupid argument, and nobody should use that because it's ableist and dumb. What we know about the human brain is that there is a fuck ton of activity that happens in it right before death. And there's a fuck ton of activity that happens when the brain perceives that it is about to die. The entire I saw my life flashing before my eyes, that idea exists in media because it's a real thing that happens to people. And when we resuscitate people on the table, when we get them back from that point, they had an experience. It was real. It happened in their head. Their brain gave them a lot of information very fast. But it does not mean that the thing you experienced was real in the sense that you physically went to another plane. And when we're talking about near-death experiences, everybody of every faith can give you a near-death experience story that coincides with their faith. And we once again run up against the edge of not all of them can be true. So the honest answer is I don't know.